And now, may we invite the next speaker with Arthur Tan, the CEO and co-founder of InvestAQ. Arthur's aspiration is to build tech products that can empower consumers, creating true value and offering great return for partners. Arthur's core strength is in the go-to-market strategy, creating revenue models, partnerships, content curation, and identifying right commercial opportunities in the market and continuously evolving models to maximize the growth. Today, he'll be sharing with us crafting your story to stand out in today's noisy capital raising space with financial PR.
Hi, Data Asia audience. Once again, thank you so much for granting me an opportunity to be showcasing what we have in stores, for you today. I believe that you have gone through, several exciting sessions, and I do hope that in the next 20 minutes to half an hour times, you guys were able to partake some things, out from this session. So my name is Arthur Tan. I'm one of the co-founders of InvestAQ, which we are one of the financial PR companies in Malaysia. And today's, my session will be entitled, as crafting your story to stand out, in today's noisy capital raising market with financial PR. Well, I believe as an entrepreneur and business owner, this will probably be very relevant, to most of you, because as an entrepreneur, business owner, you do understand, that capital raising is going to be an exercise that you're going to practice, right from the start of the company till, when you exit, your company. So let's just sit back, enjoy the session, relax yourself, and let's do this. So once again, when it comes to telling stories, or crafting, a story, it's very important, and vital to know that facts tell and stories sell. I mean, storytelling is so powerful, indeed, it has become, the most powerful ways, to be putting ideas into the world today. Without a good story, you are unable to relay, the messages, across to the person that is speaking to, either raising capital or either just trying to get a customer to be buying, your respective product. Capital raising, as I mentioned earlier, it is going to be an inevitable process right from the start. Be it whether you are starting selling a product, or be it whether you are creating a SaaS model, or just want to be a game changer, to really be solving big problems in this universe. You have to exercise capital raising. However, too many people oftentimes have gone into the pitfalls, or probably doing a couple of mistakes along the ways, when they practice capital raising. Right from the start, when you start off your business, of course, it's just an ideation stage that where you want to be raising up money, from either friends, family, or sometimes they call the fools, so the triple F. And of course, as time goes by, when your business progresses, then that's where you start looking, for angels, and to raise up money, from these respective individuals, who believe in product and shares, the same vision sentiments, as you. And of course, along the way, as you go up, from Series A onwards all the way to Series D, you'll be raising up money, from the biggest, boys like venture capitalists, family office, or either, private equity, and right all the ways, to IPOs, when you want to exit out, your company. Now, interestingly, at every stage, of this capital raising, there's a different styles, of message, and also a different style story that you'll be crafting. For instance, if you're already, at Series A, you are going to be stressing too much, of like what's the problem that you're solving and solutions. You will be already talking more, about the numbers, that what investors, want to see. And that is definitely very exciting, as how, the cycles, of the stage of a company goes by, So yeah, it's right from the start to the end. So those are who say that, oh, I just want to take a break, from exercise, capital raising, right, and meet the journey of my business. I think that's going to be very, very unlikely, to happen. So if you look, at the entire, capital raising market, companies, have actually continued, to raise money even during, the COVID-19 pandemic. And very interestingly, last year in the year of 2020, you actually get to see, a lot of records, have been smashed, in different various markets, or even says, from capital markets, and all the ways, to ECF and SPAC, and also, in IPOs, as well. Now on the screen, right now that you see, even in Malaysia equity market has gone up, by 52%, year of year, in the year of 20. And in the ECF, market, it has also, gone up, grew, by a whooping of 457%, in the year of 2020 as compared, to 2019. And we get to see a lot of great ideas, a lot of entrepreneurs, who actually thrive, with exciting ideas, to be stimulating, the market. Of course, SPAC, was also creating, hit buzz, in the market last year. That where, they have generated, a total record, of 100 over, billions. That where, way more, than the previous years, itself. And not forgetting, M&As, as well. That where 41, venture backers, companies acquires, for more than $1 billion, selling off as 104 billion, and this was far more as compared to the previous years at $95 billion. Now, so if you see as the whole overall market that's taking place, clearly you understand that liquidities and also market sentiment is still positive despite the pandemic is taking place. And of course, you have probably heard this as adversity breeds opportunity. It's always the greatest business ideas are founded during adversities. And clearly, the statistics we are seeing. So if we really dive in deeper, understanding the capital raising market as an overall, yet to today, business owners and entrepreneurs still struggles when it comes to capital raising. Firstly, capital raising, it's definitely still a very manual, ineffective, and a very mundane process. A lot of times, it's required to be building the relationship with investors until unless you have your records, previous record of getting your businesses to be acquired. Then of course it's easier, but not many entrepreneurs have such faith or luck in that. Then again, in the whole entire capital raising market, it's really lack of practical, tactical tools, and also resources that available, for entrepreneurs, to be exercising capital raising, in a simpler, efficient, and also effective way. We all do understand, that of course it is a very time-consuming process. Entrepreneurs, should really be focusing the time of building product and driving a business, rather than let's keep fundraising, because there's so much time that's involved in it. So for those who also don't have an accessibility with investors in their personal network, they also struggle in that, or sometimes not even knowing which investors actually fit their sector or so the appetite as well. And of course, capital raising is all about requiring your visibility, your market awareness, and which a lot of business owners oftentimes struggle here. Now, also when it comes to the pitch, oftentimes entrepreneurs also oftentimes have the several mistakes. It's based on what I noticed. First and foremost, too often they always would be talking about what the business can do, and also how it works, until they have forgotten to explain what are the kind of problems that your business is it's solving. Now, when you spend so much time talking about how it works, basically people want investors unable to know what are the solutions that your business is solving. So hence, it's very important for you to be sharing why your customers will be buying your product or services. Now, very important. If you are unable to share, why your customers are paying you to solve, the problem, then hence, I see no reason why, investors, should be giving you money. I repeat again, if you're unable to explain, why your customers are giving you money to be solving, their problems, then, I don't understand, how investors is going to give you, a single penny, for your business. Too often, the other mistake is too often business owners love to be sharing, too much facts and steady states until, investors are overloaded, information now. It's very important, to really be sharing whatever that's concise and precise and relevant, for investors to be chewing the piece of information. And in order to achieve this, always tell a story. When you narrate a story, you are able to explain, how, your products and services were able to solve. Use a real life scenario or real life customers to be sharing, this testimony. If you're unable, to have this real life experiences or these examples, then it's always best, to use the analogy. So therefore, people, were able to find it more relevant and relatable to it. Now, when investors, were able to find relevance, to their daily life, and that's where, for them to be putting in money, of course, stands a higher chance. The other mistake is, that entrepreneurs too often, told the sales forecast. Just keep selling, a lot of sales forecasts. Now, it's also important, that early stage, sales projections don't carry weight, with investors, because, they're unsupported, by the actual sales history. So it's very important, that you can't just focus, on the sales forecast, but rather you will be focusing more, on the benefits, of what your businesses, were able to offer, to customers. So when you're able to provide this, this information, and also to distinguish, the difference between, your company and the rest of the other competitors, within your market itself, you stand a high chances, of getting the investors' money. The other mistakes, that an entrepreneur often does is to attach, to your business plan. That where, it will be a red flag, to a few investors when entrepreneurs unwilling to work outside, the protocols, outlined in the business plan. Say for example, right now, if you're selling, a product at a fixed price, and when customer want it to be something, maybe on a subscription plan, and you're unable, to accommodate to that, that's usually making things very rigid. That's where, investors, might be also put off, investors' likabilities, towards their business. So it's always important, to be embracing the new revenue opportunities. Be flexible, be agile, especially, even at a younger stage of company. Showcase, that you have multiple, revenue opportunities. So hence, as investors were able to understand, oh, if this doesn't work, then, other alternatives, might be able to put in place. And last but not least, best, if an investor doesn't ask, it's not the most advisable to be discussing, what the ownership stakes is, right at the very first pitch, especially. It's always better, to save it for the next follow-ups, subsequent ones, that where you build the rapport first, get, your investors, to love you, trust you, see your owner benefits, which is assisted by you. Then, they were able to chew on, that whole ownership stake. Remember what they always say is, before loving someone, you always have to go through a courtship, vice versa as well, the relationship between investee and investor. So, what is financial PR? So, which also known as, as the investor relations. From what I've shared, just now, earlier on, this is where, financial PRs, were able to really be put in place, and also, to be mitigating, all the rest of the other key issues, and challenges faced by entrepreneurs most of the time. A financial PRs, just communicate, the company's financial position to the general public, stakeholders, and financial marketplace. Basically, they are like a spokespersons, for the particular organization, and to be sharing, relevance of information, financial information, to investors and also stakeholders. Very importantly, financial PRs, able to mitigate, crisis management, to maintain, highly credible reputation to investors when there's any trying times, happens, to the organization. The abilities of a financial PR were also able to unrealize the high potential value of a company to influence investors' word of confidence. So hence, when the sentiment of towards the company is positive, hence then there will be more investors who will be rushing into your company, or possibly looking into your deal. And last but not least, the financial PR does, it's increasing the profiles, of the company, making it, valuable, and bankable. So hence, there will be more people, to invest. Um, well, this is times, that where really when financial PRs, can be used, as best practices, as you see, on the screen. These are some of the crises, that take place, amongst, the publicly listed company. And this is where, a good financial PR practitioners, or an IR practitioner to step up, and really assuring investors, that hey, yes, we are facing this crisis, but don't worry, that these are certain steps, are taken to be mitigating, or minimize, the risk of this. Now, when somebody steps up, and to be sharing that, the financial health of the organizations is still healthy, regardless of all these unprecedented, or crises that take places along the way. This was still able to prevent either share prices from dipping further, or chasing away more investors from the company. So hence when a person's step up and bring forward this positive message as a forefront for the organization. This is where it really makes a big difference to the company share price, or even the positionings of the company. So too often, till now, when I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, a lot of people, still have no clue, or clueless, about what is financial PR and what is IR. And I come to realize that why financial PRs, is not often engaged, simply because of, of the limited knowledge and understandings, of what a financial PRs, were able to do. A lot of people usually confuse between a general PR, that where as what you see is it's like like creating advertisements, all that is, for a particular brand, uh, and comparing this as to a general PR. Certainly, of course, the entire functionalities are very different between these two types of PR agencies or homes. A lot of business owners so still find that it's insignificant, or it's not necessary until when shit hits the fan, or when matters arise, and that's where usually financial PR is engaged, or when they want money, of course. So it's always best that financial PRs to actually be maintaining a relationship with the companies throughout the whole time, be it whether until IPO if the company is not listed, or of course, if a company is listed, it's always best to have an internal IR, external financial PR to be helping your business to really be staying float in the market. Of course, it's not easy to find solid and intact, credible financial PR practitioners in the market, especially in this particular region. So hence, too often, a lot of business owners, they will just go back to PRs in a company. But again, the ways how it's being executed, the understanding, the functionalities, the knowledge is completely different between a general PR and a financial PR. And of course, a lot of people just want to save money and cost, but which results this will actually incur more expenses, and also more money wasted if financial PR is not being engaged for the health of the company. So before I dive into how can financial PRs to be helping you, let's take a break for a couple of minutes.
Greetings everyone, my name is Yeling.
And my name is Normi.
Welcome to Data Asia 2021, where we can connect business virtually and experience the gamification event at the same time. We hope that you will enjoy this virtual event starting from May 24th to May 30th. Well, the good news is you can experience this event from wherever and whenever you like, as we are open for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So, how was your virtual experience? We hope that you had a great explorations during the Data Asia 2021. Remember, book your slot for Data Asia 2022 and contact our sales representative for more information or call.
Thank you for visiting Data Asia. We hope to see you next year. Bye.
Welcome back to Data Asia. Once again, my name is Arthur Tan, the co-founder, CEO of InvestAQ. Bid you welcome to our sessions of how can financial PRs to be assisting you. So as a financial PR practitioners, we help our clients to think and pitch from investors' perspective. Too often, when a business owner is feeling very gung-ho and very enthusiastic to do the pitch, you will be speaking from the shoes as an entrepreneur. Now, this is where we come in and to understand the psychologies and the thoughts of investors, putting their perspective and to be feeding into the entrepreneurs. And this is where we make a difference to our client. Now, introducing you InvestAQ. We are combined years of experience 35 in the communications, marketing, and financials fundraising industry. As to date, as we speak, in a time span of 9 months since incorporation, we have assisted clients a total of 8.5 million ringgit Malaysia worth of projects, and so we have achieved 80 or plus of live shows virtually, hybrid and also physical shows as well. We are Malaysia's innovative financial PR. The mission is it should be automating, simplifying, and also digitalizing investor relations through a portal itself. Now, basically, what we do is as I mentioned earlier, really is in a very nutshell, we speak on your behalf, on your company, on the financial information, and relays all this vital information to a potential investors, stakeholders, or either if you want to get your business to be acquired or to go IPO. So hence we deliver this long-term stakeholder value to our client. Now, this is exactly what we do over here, from corporate positioning and branding, where we strengthen and also refine clients' corporate positioning. So hence they were able to improve their market valuations through the business life showcase and also story building as well. We represent crisis management. We represent the company in all aspects of communication, messaging, and also engagement, media relations. We put our clients into the respective right and relevance media publications. So hence there will be more awareness to be shared about the story, purpose and also mission at the same time. And of course, with that being said, we also support in communications training to help CEOs C-suite levels to be speaking the right way when it comes to either to pitch or interview, or to do a keynote speaking. Our goals is over here that where we provide the end-to-end service from strategies, the executions, and also insights of preparedness of campaigns and programs. We help our clients from strategic positioning, market intelligence, crafting a valuable story in the perspective of how investors think, and also very importantly to amplify your brands to the right and relevance investor community. So how in InvestAQ our methodology functions very differently. how we work, and also how do we think, out of the box. So we believe in order to achieve, the optimum, investors relations outcome, we bring, the best, of both pillars together. First is, in the corporate positioning, of business live showcase, and also, media relations, to really bring out, the stories, of our client, to be, out there, itself. So because our names, itself, InvestAQ, AQ stands as, for adaptability quotient. It really resonates to our heartbeats, that where one of our mantras, or ethos, you can say is, it's to really keep innovating, adapting, to what client needs, and changes. So hence that's why, we are brave and dare to say that our mission, is to be automating, simplifying, and digitalizing, investor relations with all the availability of tools and resources to be supporting, and helping out, our clients. Here are some of the projects, that we have added values, to our clients. For example, this is one of it. Brand International. They are 19 years as a company. First time raising up capitals, and we work together with the CEO, crafting out a great story, a greater story. They already have a very compelling story, putting them into the whole live showcase, and also having in intimate sessions with the C-suite level, to bring out the stories of how each and every of these individual head of departments works. And with that, they have successfully raised up 2 million, which was also an oversubscribed of 101% itself. And then next is we have like Pentype, the world first robot advisory. Of course, there are already couples, robot advisories, like Stashaways, but this is a homegrown from Malaysia itself. So yes, Malaysia Boles, we were very supportive towards it. We worked on a 6 episodes for this, and hence they're able to oversubscribe by 394%. After doing up 6 episodes with InvestAQ. And then this is it's a homegrown brand names which requires no further introduction. Morgan Fields, the very famous rich steak, and hence they also were raising up capital, and we did a physical event because we were fortunate enough at that time. It was during the period of CMCO. So hence we invited few of the our individuals investor community to experience a market sessions while listening to the CEO presenting what the opportunities, and also the how this company is going to grow. So with that, they have also successfully raised up 3 million, which was also oversubscribed by more than 100,000, more than 100%, on the ECF platform. Here's another one, Surf, which is a car super app. That where they have everything, it's like your walking dictionaries, when it comes to automobile. They also have engaged us in crafting out the stories, putting them into corporate positioning, amplifying their brand, and they have successfully oversubscribed by 700%, raising up a total of 1.5 M's on the ECF platforms here. This is one of the recent ones that where we totally did as a full virtual live showcase at Comes Technologies, one of the leading IoT companies in Malaysia. We have different respective backgrounds, and featuring different heads and also head of departments of the organization, just to share the functionalities and also to share how different is their company as compared to the rest. Again, remember, it's about sharing the problems that they are solving. So hence, it will entice investors to understand why are they going to put in money or investing in this company. And last but not least, we also support companies who want to look for partners or want to look for JV or M&As, or even it's like this clients. So companies work with us and also we amplify the brand that's raising up awareness from the whole financial perspective here. So if you're coffee lovers, you probably have heard this as a Union Roasteries, coffee, that where they have really expanded, across 11 outlets, in Klang Valley, itself. And we work, alongside, with them for further expansions, So yeah, we successfully managed to find, two partners, to be one of, their JV partners, for Union. The other one is, we have added values. It's a convenient mart. They have built, they have expanded, a total, of close to 60 outlets, amidst, pandemic. Since when the pandemic started, we did, a whole corporate positioning, for them, putting them, into, live shows, at the same time, creating, awareness, crafting out, their story, compelling stories, to be targeting, individuals, who wants to be a family mart, owner, or family mart, investors. This was very exciting, because essentially, we also able to support this family mart brand who targets, the B40 community. We managed to find, two successful partners, for these brands. So last but not least, I mean, so much as, about financial PRs, and also what we do. Till now, I believe that you have a better understanding, what an IR, what a financial PR does, and what's our ability. So these are the kind of targeted clients, that we want to work with, or we want to add value. So, if you fall, under any, of these companies, feel free, to be speaking, to us. As we will be, we are very happy, glad, to be sharing more, of thoughts with you. If you're an ECF, approved companies, SME companies, that you want to raise money, for private placement, pre-IPO companies, public listed, SMEs, companies, or looking for merger acquisition, or even, SPAC listings, in Malaysia, if that happens, feel free, to be speaking, to us. Once again, my name is Arthur Tan. On behalf of, of InvestAQ, and also, all your audiences, who are watching live right now, thank you so much, for joining the sessions. I do hope, that the sessions, able to give you an invaluable insight to understand, how you could take your company, to the next level, or growing it by leaps and bounds, with financial PR. In InvestAQ, we deliver nothing, but excellence only. Here are my credentials, that how you're able to reach out, to me. Either, you can visit, our website, www.investaq.co, or visit our Facebook, page, just type InvestAQ, or either, you have any inquiries, queries, please feel free, to drop me in any emails, at arthur@investaq.co, or you can, reach out to me, via Instagram, at my alias, Arthur KL, or either, to drop me, a WhatsApp line at that number, that flash on the screen. With that, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Stay safe and take care.